Hello, beautifuls. We got to talk today. We really have to talk about protein. You know why? Because the world right now has a bit of a game going on, and it's got us all misdirected on what we're trying to achieve and how we want to achieve it. And it is this protein game. It's a little bit misleading, just like everything. When something became trendy, the market took off and found all these solutions for us. But usually, they're not the solutions for what we're striving for in the first place. But we've kind of forgotten what we're trying to achieve. We've forgotten where we're going, and the market has got us baffled. If you're looking for more protein in your diet, if you're looking for more good protein, if you find that you're working out a lot, if you find that you feel you need more protein, or you're pretty sure you should be taking more because of how much you are working out, some of those could be right, but the system's got you looking in the wrong places for it. So I'm going to take you through some of the things you have to think about when you're looking to add more protein to your diet, especially if you are looking to supplement it because you know that your muscles and your body are looking for it. But there's a lot going on in our systems that make it not necessarily working for us. So I want you to stick with me. We're going to go through it and I'm going to show you how you can do this a lot easier in a way that will actually get you the protein your body's looking for. Okay, so this is kind of how this goes. Generally, we're looking to get more fit, to exercise, and we know that protein will give us the energy we need to do that. All of that is right. What we first of all do sometimes is we start an intensive program, we increase our protein to try to meet it, but when we don't keep up that program, but our desire and our habits for that much protein still continue. So then we actually have the problem of the overload. And protein, your body really can only process so much protein in a day. People always say to me, okay, well, how much should I be taking? Yes, there's calculations out there, but I don't think that's the way we need to approach it. What we need to do is make sure that you're getting the protein from the sources of the stuff you want to be eating first, and then you analyze for a lack. Because we often forget that a lot of our raw foods, like vegetables, have and are great sources of protein. We also forget that we need those, the enzymes in those raw foods to help us even break down our protein. And as well, we're often not eating those vegetables in a way that helps them break down so that we can get all these vital vitamins and minerals from them that will help us utilize and maintain the protein levels that we need. So before we even look to added protein or added meat sources of protein or supplements for protein, we need to be doing everything right in our most natural source of protein and then build from there. And why would we do that? Well, really, we can't be sure. And if you've ever listened to my histamine bucket program, there's quite often that we are looking at situations where we're getting protein from sources that could be adding to our histamine bucket, causing reactions in our system, as well as pretty much all of us. And we have to sort of assume we do have not the healthiest gut. And so we've heard of the term leaky gut. You may have watched my episode on gut matters. There's a lot going on that's making things challenging in our gut. But here's what really happens with protein. If our gut is leaky or weak or not functioning very well or breaking things down, we have the risk of protein getting in our system and then leaching out into our system as full protein. And our body will regard that as something that is foreign and attack it. Your body wants to, your gut and intestines and digestive system is meant to break down that protein for you. So one, if you're having too much, if you don't have a fully functioning digestive system, if you don't have the highest quality sources of protein, it is possible that those aren't being processed, are leaching out into our system, and are being reviewed as full proteins that your body can't use and treated as a foreign system. So when you talk about autoimmune or gut issues or allergies or sensitivities where your body is almost attacking itself when it's trying to deal with those things, it can have a lot to do with the protein. And so we want to be sure that we're actually needing more protein before we're getting it. And so when I said you go back to the really good sources of it, vegetables are great sources of protein. You can also argue that at lower levels of protein that vegetables would have compared to meats, your body is actually able to process them easier and potentially can garner more protein from the lower sources of protein in the vegetables than it can in some of the more concentrated versions. So it doesn't mean you always need to be looking to meat, but that's not even half of the problem compared to the protein sources that are on the market. So first off, if you are insistent on going to a protein source from like a shake or a supplement, I'm going to encourage you to look to the vegetable proteins. Again, arguably can be easier to break down. Generally, can often be more supportive of a higher quality shake. But also, you just have the potential of that protein providing the more appropriate vitamins and minerals you're looking for. And so, if you're looking to a supplement, you want to take the time to be looking for the best quality source you can. Like I said, focus more on the vegetable proteins, gather it from a high quality source, and the ingredients, every ingredient is important. Because what we see in the whole vitamin and supplement world, and don't get me wrong, we are very deficient in many. And so it's quite possible that we are needing better protein sources or more protein sources, but it doesn't mean that the way we think of getting them is the best way. And so a majority of the protein supplements on the market have so much garbage in them that they're doing you more harm than good. Next up, they have so much sugar. And everybody will argue with me on this one because I bet you yours says 1 gram per serving. I see it all the time. And yes, it's 1 gram of the identifiable sugar. But if you look at it, if you read some of the other ones, if you know anything about other and hidden forms of sugar, protein supplements are some of the biggest culprits of putting all the different names in and not identifying them all as possible sugar in the total because they appear as different ingredients. Next up, the chemicals that are added to them. Every time you're putting something in your body that it doesn't recognize, and what it doesn't recognize is typically something that is not natural, you are not only causing more grief to it, you are creating the potential for it to attack it as a foreign object. So it can add to its reaction to protein, or protein can add to its reaction to that. So it's very important to be looking at all of the ingredients, not the protein content, all of the ingredients in your protein shake. But let's take this one even better. Let's get protein from natural sources. You are going to start to find that when you do that, you have a better sense of satisfaction than that you are looking for in your protein shake than your protein shake gives you. A lot of times when we eat vegetables, We don't think of coordinating them with fats. And I guess we do in a salad, but I'm going to tell you that pretty much any salad dressing or dip that you buy in the market does not have your high quality fats that you're looking for. So when you start to eat your vegetables with high quality fats, that gives the vegetable the ability to break down in your system so that your body takes from it what it needs because it's all kind of broken down into little pieces. Those high quality fats could be your key here. Very often we associate a feeling of need for protein with a feeling of lack of satisfaction. And that, my friends, comes best from your oils. And when you eat the oils with good sources of protein, you have the ability to garner so much value from that one small product instead of needing and wanting more. So, making your own salad dressings, 3 ingredients. You just want a really high quality oil, extra virgin, full pressed olive oil, your avocado oil, the same, even a coconut oil. Make your dressing, add a vinegar. Hey, why not add apple cider vinegar and improve your gut? And then add something else like a citrus or seasoning. You got your salad dressing. It's that easy, but you can be sure that you got your high quality fat in there. Now you're eating the raw vegetables, which are also great sources of protein, and you could be providing so much more value to your body. You don't need the shakes like we think we do. And so if you're one of those people that's really intensive into exercise, or you have a lot of strength and power that you're looking for, it's not to say you may not want to look for more protein. I might argue that you can get it from other sources, but the big thing is you don't want to be looking to the protein supplementation every day. There's huge downfalls to it that we're not recognizing. And I would say the majority of the time when it's being applied to someone's diet, it is doing far more harm than good. And I know that sounds intense and I know it sounds strong, but you know what? At least go back to trying to get more in your diet from real foods. Then try to make the foods that have good natural but maybe low sources of protein to get the most out of them, and then see what you're lacking and looking for. And you also don't want to do the protein shake every day from the simple fact that you lose your ability to know when your body needs more protein or is doing fine with the amount of protein. And I teach a lot on eating by instinct, and it's really hard, I know, to be convinced that your body's going to tell you what you need, that you can actually read it all the time, but you can. But you can't when you're getting your source from not only an unnatural source in a very processed type of product, without the variables of knowing I'm lacking more, I'm doing more, oh, I'm not doing as much, I can probably decrease it a little bit. We really feel like we need these intensive sources of protein to build the muscle and give us the energy we need to do these intensive programs. And I will argue it's the other way. If you're feeling that way, you need to adjust your program so that it's not putting your body in this place where it's needing this. If you are getting the most value of protein out of your everyday healthful foods, and on occasion will have a call or a need for more when things maybe got out of whack and out of balance, and then maybe you could look for that, but you don't want it to be all the time. You are hurting your system. I have very much seen where the concept of protein and protein shakes have overtaken our market so much that it's almost impossible for people to believe that it's not really good for them or helping them. And I'm begging you just to try. It is one of our biggest challenges. And if you listen to the inflammation and histamine bucket one, you'll know what it could be doing to your system. It could actually be full-fledged working against you with what you're trying to do. If it's to tone, lose weight, decrease inflammation, it could literally be your source of inflammation. So I don't want to bring the bad news, but shouldn't it be good news? Because guess what? It's a lot cheaper. And people always say to me, oh, it's so expensive to eat healthy. No, it's not. Eat real foods. You're not buying packaged healthful foods. You're buying real foods. You're understanding how they need to be made. You're understanding what vitamins and minerals you're lacking so that you can easily, very quickly add them to foods. My chopped salad solution is literally the easiest hack to eating healthy every day, changing it up, having something different every day. If you're like me, the last thing I want is someone to tell me exactly what I'm supposed to eat and have to eat the same thing every day. I don't. I never have and I never will. But my chopped salad solution will help you do that. And every day you can add something different and get the vitamins and minerals you need, and you can add protein to it. So if you do this crazy healthy chopped salad and add any meat you want to it, you have a whole bowl of protein that will be unlike anything processed you could get into your system. Don't fall for the gimmicks. It's companies that want to sell you a product that's easy to process and easy to put out for a huge amount of money. It's actually easier to get your protein and cheaper to get it from real sources. And I can promise you, you're not just getting protein every time you do this. You could be getting all the vitamins and minerals that you're lacking. And you also have the ability to not have your whole body be challenged with that source of protein or to be challenged trying to process it. And it can also, even in a weakened system, those natural sources of protein are going to help it heal and not the lack of healing that it has work against it with you adding these extra unnatural sources of protein. They're not always your friend. We've been sold a line. The basic concept is true. We want to get the protein that we need. Protein's important to us. We need a certain amount. Every day can be different, but we can only deal with a certain amount per day. There is a max. And right now, in most cases, we are overloading ourselves. It's wasted if we did need it because it's coming in these sources that it comes too much and our body can't process it. But it's not in a natural source where our body will use it to its best of its ability in its full form and take all the value and so much more from it. And most importantly, you are not getting a product that's selling it to you like it's a natural, healthful product with a whole pile of other crap in it that could potentially be doing more harm than good. So that's the skinny on the protein shakes. I know it's not the news everybody wants to hear, but it will save you money and most of all health in the end. So I encourage you to take it seriously. And as always, I want you to remember that you are a beautiful being exactly as you are. And when you embrace your true beauty and prioritize your wellness and self-care, you shine even brighter. And that, my friends, is what illuminates your path to your highest potential. Take care.